and things starting to really evolve. And I think that's what makes the viewer so excited when they can see that.
You're absolutely right. And here's why it currently works. My aspiration is to have the character own his own company, sure. But why it works right now is because you're having a multitude of characters, and it's really starting with Jack Abbott, owning Newman Enterprises, going after the right person to run Jabot. He wants to be the big, boss, large and in charge. And so supporting that is just fine. You have tentacles. This is like an octopus. You have tentacles, reaching from Jack Abbott all the way to the Winters and beyond, to Angel, to the character of Leslie. And it's a good combination. It works well, especially after not having something like this. This, to me, feels like the Y&R of the 90s. I got there early in 90 or 91, early 91. And, the corporate warring was very effective. I first worked for John Abbott and then jumped ship over to Victor and then back to Abbott and then back to Newman. So that's what this feels like again, that we are on the Bill Bell Sr. Stagecoach.
I'd have to agree with that, too. I think we've all noticed it, that it's being written more like he wrote it.
Right.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely a good thing, and it's so nice, because there, for a while, it just seemed like there was one or two storylines that were just running all the time or dominating the show. And now you're seeing a lot of diversity. You're seeing a lot of different things going on at one time. And to me, that's a soap. That's when, you can sit down with your families in the day or your mom or your grandpa, and you can sit there or your friends and you can chit-chat about the show, and you're just all over the map because there's so much going on. It's really great, and it's kind of pulled away from the same old to a point. Very reminiscent of the Y&R of the 90s that I remember watching and loved so.
Well, what you just said is very important. Same old, and this is why the audience has been tuning out in droves. Not really our show. I'm just talking about in daytime in general. The soap operas. You can't keep recycling storylines. You can't keep having these incestuous relationships between all the characters. You've got to bring in new blood. You've got to rotate, and you've got to find hot topical storylines. You've got to mirror some of the stuff that's going on right now, as opposed to stuff that was happening in the 80s and the 90s. And I think also you've got to go back to the original roots of daytime, which are Love in the Afternoon, right? Villains and heroes. It's pretty simple. It's just that I think some writers tend to stray away from the template, and unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know really how to call it, there was a vast infusion of other networks' stars onto our canvas. And God bless them. I mean, I worked with some of them, and I like them. It's just that that's not Young and the Restless. Our core audience wants to see the core characters. Yeah. And you can't disrupt or interrupt those families, those storylines, with brand new characters that are obviously huge stars on other networks.
Right.
That's my take. That's part of it. You've got to keep it fresh, and by that I mean new characters, which they have now. And Angelique McDaniel, gosh, I hope I said her name right. Angelica McDaniel. Joined CBS. Her mandate was for more diversity for Young and the Restless. And so now the audience will be seeing very shortly a few new characters that I think they're going to like a lot.
Oh, good.
Yes, I know. It's like all of a sudden Y&R is just pulling all of these nice surprises out of the hat, that just not only keep us guessing, but, that are just like the fans. I see it all over Twitter all the time. They're going, yes, did you see what happened today? And, you can just see that, read the buzz and the excitement. You can almost feel it, that was once there, and it's just like
the excitement.
Come back. Yeah, it's just back. And that's, and that's what makes people want to watch the show. Is just seeing that you've got some things that are reminiscent, but it's just nice to see the new diversity because that is what keeps the show fresh and new.
Yeah, you're right. That made me excited too. I saw some comments, and it's definitely a new time, a new era, and to see the fan reaction so quickly, via social media is superb. I mean, I remember, 20, 30 years ago, getting fan mail. Even in the 70s, getting fan mail, snail mail. You'd wait, weeks or months. I remember being on Bad News Bears, and I would personally answer all the fan mail, and it was very touching. But again, that we're not in that time anymore. We're in the social media technology time where you turn on your computer and you're instantly talking to your fans, your audience, which are ultimately your employers. And that's why it's so good to hear the positive affirmations after, a week or so of a good pairing like that. So
right.
Talk to all the fans, all my Twizzlers out there. I love it.
Yeah, it's brought back the Friday thing of, oh my God, I can't wait till Monday now. So
yeah, exactly.
That's what you want.
Can't wait. And and now it's like now in daytime, you have on the Young and the Restless, you have the whole previews of what's to come, and at the end of every show. And it used to be a decade or so ago, you didn't see that. You only got to see like the commercials throughout the week and the little snippets. But it's so nice to have that kind of build up on Fridays. And like Pam was saying, that anticipation, from Monday. Monday's coming, what's going to happen. And spend all weekend trying to guess what's going to happen. And then either be surprised or dead on, either way. But it's always good when it's like that. So,
well, it's not always. It's not just good. It's muy importante. It's very important that they reestablish that Friday cliffhanger, Monday resolve. The only, as far as I know, Canada is the only country that can see on Friday what Monday's show is, which is cool. Good for them. But yeah, I feel that again. That the Thursday, Friday shows leading up to the weekend are definitely much stronger, much more powerful than they have been. So time will tell. We've got new people seeing new jobs, and they're working furiously trying to keep the show up and running. No, I shouldn't say that. The show is up and running. There is no danger at this point, for its demise. They're furiously churning out new scripts, new episodes to keep the show, growing. Obviously, trying to earn more spectators and see us into 2014, 2016. That's the truth.
Yeah,
right.
That's awesome. Well, of all of the characters that had to, you hate to see any one of them have to leave, but of late, in the recent, restructuring, I hated to see Marcy Ryland go because she just was such a great supporting actress. And she was such a spitball and spitfire on camera, and to play that role to the hilt. I remember watching her in Guiding Light, and she just, really had it. And then, even as a much younger actress, but I just loved her dynamic. And so I really hated that, she got cut. But, when you grow to love characters, no matter who they are, on Y&R, you always hate when someone leaves or their contract expires or they decide to, move forward in a different direction. You just, because you have your favorites, and you just, the show is so good that it's hard to dislike anyone, really. So
that's very kind of you to say. I'm sure it's very difficult for the new hires, meaning new executive producers and head writers, to come in and look at the canvas very carefully and have to figure out where to chop, where to trim, who to improve upon, who to let go. I don't envy that position. Marcy, or a.k.a. M, as we knew her on set, was the spitfire and bubbly personality off the show as she was on. And yes, it was it was disturbing to watch her exit. But again, with the exit of certain characters come the entrance of others.
Right.
Yeah. I don't believe that we could have the new characters without, unfortunately, putting it like this, getting rid of certain characters. Yes, he was a fan favorite, and there are others that are still leaving now. And that's painful to watch. But it is to service the story. And as we know, the story is the star. You know, I've often said either in publications or on social media that I'm just a spoke in the wheel. And I say that because no one person really stars in this show. I mean, we could sit here and argue and say, Eric Braden, a.k.a. Victor Newman, he is the star of the show. He is the man of the show. We could say that Melody Thomas Scott is the female lead of the show. But you know what? You put Eric in a 44-minute show by himself, I don't think people are going to be watching forever. I love Eric. I think he's one of the most talented men in the business and has not been given that next platform, which I think that he could be on. But we are collectively as a group, you know, making this show happen. And I'm okay with that. I'm proud of that because there's a lot of talented people in that wheel.
That's right. That's right. I mean, just if you even you know, some of the other characters. I mean, you look at Gene Cooper, you know, Miss Chancellor. I mean, if there was some, you know, if you didn't have Jill, that whole dynamic storyline that has been between them forever, decades now. You know, that feud and then the culmination of this and that. I mean, it just wouldn't be. You know, and so I mean, it just no one character. You know, there are fan favorites and there are characters like yourself and some of the ones that have been on the show for a very long time that really do make that difference. But, one single person could not do a stand-up daytime drama. You know, it just wouldn't fly. So let's definitely.
He'd at least have to have a dog or something.
You're funny. Zapato. So it'd be Zapato and Victor. The Zapato and Victor show. You remember the dog, don't you? You remember that. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go off topic about Y&R and ask you about the upcoming movie you have called Redemption, The Darkness Descending, and you play Smitty. Can you tell us about that?
I can't tell you too much about that. I had a great time shooting it. It's a sideline project. A good buddy of mine, Mark Klevenoff, directed. Frank Kruger is another good buddy of mine who wrote and produced it, executive produced it. I do play a cop in it. There are some talented people involved, Louis Mandalore. But for right now, I'm going to keep mums because I'm not really sure where they are with it and how much they want me to promote or not promote. But it was a fun project to work on, I'll tell you that. And to be honest with you, I mean, here's a little tidbit, a little secret that people don't know about me. If I chose another occupation, it would have been law enforcement. I love serving and protecting. I really do. And, you know, my friends joke with me and say, man, all you need to do is play a cop just to get it out of your system. You know, and I've played cops a few times in my career, and I still don't have it out of my system. So, I would probably do well in law enforcement. So there's a little secret for you.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the proverbial what would you have done if you hadn't become an actor kind of question.
Right.
So we all know now. So
then there's the flip side there's the flip side where I would love to be a musician. I mean, I play guitar, some piano, a little percussion, and I could just as easily slip over to the dark side and be an all-night, night owl musician. So just to let you know.
All right. Well, see, you've got hidden talents we did not know. Do you sing?
I'm sorry, say it again?
Do you sing at all? In addition to playing different instruments? Or is it
that's why I didn't understand you, because you said it like this. Can you sing it all? Can you sing it? I love it. Where are you from?
Well, you tell me where you think I'm from.
Well, it's obviously the South, somewhere in the South of Texas. Where are you from? You from the South?
I am from North Carolina, thank you.
Ooh, you from North Carolina. My mama's from South Carolina. Yes, ma'am.
See, then you know all about this part of the country and my neck of the woods, then.
I do. I know what Southern hospitality is all about.
And I'm sure if you went to North Carolina, Dawn would have her door open for you.
Yes, I would treat you to Southern hospitality and home cooking, Southern cooking, and the whole 9 yards. So. Yeah.
Thank you. Are you a Tar Heel fan?
I am indeed. Is there any other fan to be? Well, there are some people in this state that claim to be big Blue Devil fans, but we won't go there.
I got you. Gotcha.
Yeah, I work at the